You're so funny. So, Gabe, since we now had a couple of drinks and got to know each other a little bit, did I ever told you smell amazing? When do you make Left 4 Dead 3?
Probably never, but you can play Back 4 Blood. You're an asshole, Gabe.
Hey, kids! I'm Dad.
Welcome to the Dead End Inn. Today we got a special menu item directly from the streets of New Orleans. Fresh, tasty, sparkling, boomabile. And much more. Left 4 Dead is a real classic, and since Godfather Gabe don't want to give us what we want, I did it myself. So may I present you the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Left 4 Dead 3 Do-It-Yourself DLC. Or for short, the DnD 5e L4D3 DIY DLC. Damn, that's a lot of letters. Anyways, if you love the games and you love D&D, you will love this. And the best part is, you can put it in your game right now. If you want your Strixhaven campaign to go a little bit High School of the Dead, if you know what I mean. Or you can just start a mini campaign or so. Anyway, what I wanted to say, the D&D 5e L4D3 DIY DLC is an easy pluggable plugin consisting out of 22 monster stat blocks and 7 item cards directly pulled out of the Left 4 Dead universe and converted into the rules of Dungeons and Dragons. And you know what? Because I like your hair today, you can download it for free. But wait, before you take your brew and leave my humble tavern, let me explain what you got yourself there.
Even though the following homebrew content is handcrafted by a self-proclaimed brewer expert, the brew is not play-tested and may result in the total annihilation of your player party and or the destruction of any balancing prior to the implementation of the brew. Please enjoy the brew with caution and at your own risk.
Hey, what images pop up when we think about Left 4 Dead? Infected crawling through the streets of an empty town or swamp. Goo-leaking people spitting acid on each other and us. Big muscle dudes stomping us into the ground. And not to forget, crying women. How in the world could that fit in a D&D adventure? It fits pretty well, right? Yeah. Here an example. Killian Sunbearer from the Church of the Rising Sun and his party have to investigate a village far away from the big cities. Rumors of merchants suggested some kind of sickness, and now the village is avoided for weeks. The party enters the village, it's empty. They knock on the doors but no one replies. They wander deeper into the village just to find a young lady sitting in the middle of the marketplace crying. The rogue sees some shadows rushing over the rooftops, asking the party to halt, but the naive cleric wants to make sure the woman is fine and approaches her. He lays his hand on her shoulder. The pale woman cries out in an instant, jumps on her feet and starts swinging at the cleric, which can avoid death by a quick uttered banishment. In that moment, the rogue, looking for the shadows, gets wrapped in a meat tentacle and pulled away from the group. She screams for help. Killian the paladin rushes to her help, but then his gaze gets redirected by loud and numerous knocking sounds from within the town hall. The door bursts, and all the infected villagers that trapped themselves voluntarily in the town hall building flood out onto the marketplace. Plans changed. The cleric rushes to the rogue to help. Killian on the other hand starts swinging at the horde of infected, slicing 5 or 6 villagers in half with every strike. In the moment the cleric wants to strike at the tongue, he gets jumped by a hooded figure and rammed into the ground. The cleric desperately tries to concentrate farther on the banishment spell, but if the paladin or the rogue can't come to help, the witch will surely reappear. That could be a nice little one-shot for young and old, right? But now we can come to the meat and bones. What exactly are these stat blocks I promised? Let's start with the common infected, the cannon fodder, that guys who give the whole thing the hack and slay feeling. You remember that moment in the story where Killian strikes down multiple infected with one blow? You remember that moment where you as a D&D veteran thought, that's not how D&D works, you can only target one creature. You're right, but that is where the most important thing in D&D comes in. Friends? Wrong. Flavor! Tasty, tasty flavor. See? I created the stat block for Infected. It's your run-of-the-mill zombie. Boring, weak. But here comes the thing. I also created stat blocks for hordes of Infected. So effectively it counts as one monster. But with flavor, it is a group of Infected ready to slice through. They come in 3 different sizes. Large, huge, and gargantuan. The bigger the horde, the more health it has, the more strength it can use, and the more damage it deals. Easy. Every HP of the horde symbolizes 1 infected, so if your paladin does 10 damage with a swing, he effectively cuts down 10 infected individuals.
The infected individuals.
It's all flavor, baby. You can also combine 2 hordes to build a bigger one, or split up a horde into 2 smaller ones, and that on the fly during battle. You have to do just a little bit of preschooler math to calculate the HP of the hordes built through this process, but it makes for a really fun dynamic shift in power on the battlefield. The rules are explained in the meet and greet and leave and flee feature on the horde stat block itself. Also, the horde fluidity feature underlines the fact that it's a group and not just one monster, and implements the slowing feature of the infected from the L4D3 games. And next, uncommon infected. These little buggers are the intermediate step between the normal infected and the juicy special infected. Kinda like the unloved middle child, but still useful to spice things up. Especially in early levels, these guys can be used to regulate the difficulty just right. They are more or less normal infected with altering stats and little special features or added resistances. Some of them, for example, the infected survivor functions as a loot kobold, where if you throw him onto the battlefield and the PCs kill him, he leaves behind 1 or more little goodies from the items I also created for this DLC. Then there are the mudmans, for example. Disgusting fellows, these guys crawl and grab your shiny armor with their filthy mud hands. Away from me, creep! They function as a little stick thrown into the spokes of the action economy of the party, making them blind until they use an action or bonus action to clean the mud from their little eyes. And then there's my favorite, the clown. These funny bastards evoke fear in the bones of every adventurer. This guy is laughable against the horrifying red noses of these monstrosities.
Loser.
These guys, if not killed quietly, can spawn an entire horde of zombies. They make for an interesting tactical decision and can really make the rogue or the ranger shine. I really like them. Okay, now let's get to the juice. This special infected. Here you got the hunter, smoker, boomer, spitter, jockey, charger, tank and witches. The real highlight of the DLC. I really like them as kinda mini bosses. They can mess up the party quick, but are easily killed, except for the tank and the witch, which kinda act like the boss bosses. Witch. Funny. If you played L4D3, and you should have, then you know that teamwork is key. I tried to capture this feeling in this DLC. In L4D3, some of the special infected can incapacitate the players, and another player must rescue them, because they were effectively dead if they were left hanging. I didn't want to go this far, but I think I found a nice compromise. The infected in question can inflict a status condition called pinned down. It is explained on the stat block itself. In short, the pinned down creature is considered prone, restrained and has disadvantage on ability checks. To free yourself from the condition, you either have to kill the infected that pins you down, or succeed on an athletics check. The pinned down creature has effectively disadvantage on everything it does that would free it from the condition. So what do you need in a situation like that?
Friends!
Wrong. No, right, yes. You need friends. They can help you. And this creates teamwork. But how do you get pinned down in the first place? Every special infected has a special actions under actions that imitates their individual special moves from the L4D3 games. You got the charge of the charger, the spit of the spitter, the tongue of the tonguer, the tongue of the smoker, the puke of the boomer. Gross. Yeah, you got all that. And they are all on a recharge just like in the games. And last but not least, there are the tank and the witch. These boss encounters are hard-hitting killer machines. In the games, they down you with incredible speed and are relentless. To the GM who uses these, I would recommend to balance these according to the party's condition and level. Give the tank half of its health and let the party fight on a map where they can maneuver around that dumb brick of meat, and boom, your level 3 party can have a funny boss fight. If you have a level 10 party, throw 5 of these fuckers in one room and go nuts. Balancing is easy. No, for real. I think the best thing about this pack is its flexibility. If your group doesn't scout out every inch of the area they go through using crazy divination shenanigans before they go through it, then surely there will be a house or a sewage entrance or even some tents you can let some infected flood out even during battle. The whole point of special infected like the Spitter, Hunter and Smoker is that they strike from rooftops or out of the shadows previously hidden. So you can be the director, just like in Left 4 Dead. If the party mows through the large hordes untouched, spawn a huge horde. Or 2, if they barricaded in a house and cheese your hordes, spawn a spitter, shoot an acid pool under their feet, and then let a charger crash through the back door. If the mage feels safe in the backline, spawn a smoker. Pull that coward even further away from the action. You can really adjust the difficulty and the stress put on the party, which can make for a really fun adventure. Now, as the cherry on top, I also made the items of the game into item cards you can use. Like every good house party, we got some narcotics. The adrenaline shot. A quick and easy way to get speedy and some additional HP if you want to escape the hordes. The painkillers for some HP to chug, and the first aid kit, the better and much more easy to use healers kit. If things get really troublesome, we also got the defibrillator, a one-time use revivify if your wizard slipped once again. Not for that. On the other hand, we have some real classics on the offensive side. We got the good old Molotov cocktail, self-explanatory. We got the pipe bomb, I think an interesting mechanic in a D&D game. If you want to get the attention of the horde to a more advantageous point of interest, that's the right one for you. And finally, Boomer Bile, the definition of fighting fire with fire. You can make the horde your puppet by throwing it at the tank and see the hordes obliterate their own family members. Or you can spill it over the cocky rogue in your party that repeatedly called you a... Or don't do that. PvP is only okay if it's consensual. Remember that, kids. That was the DnD 5e L4D3 DIYD... Wait, there's more? No way! Yes! I made 4 additional uncommon infected to make this group of infected fellows a little more spicy. The 4 uncommon infected are, drumroll, the infected mage. This squishy bookworm still has the instincts of a wizard and is able to fire a weaker version of the all-time classic magic missile. Next, the infected cleric. Ho ho, what a paradoxical combination, am I right? But faith doesn't guard you from infection. This holy man or holy woman can heal up undead, which is a rare seen skill. Also, he can burn himself up in radiant light. Next, the infected druid. Nature itself bestowed him with a virus. Oh, unthankful nature. He can sprout vines and other nature stuff in a 20 feet radius, trapping himself and making the area difficult terrain. And he can give the tank an AC of 16. Have fun. Next, the infected bard. This one is kinda cool and gives the ranged character something to shoot at. You don't want the infected music lover to get near a horde of infected. He can jump in, give them additional hit points and grants them an inspiration die. So better kill this mockery of a bard. See what I did there? Before he can join one of the infected rave parties on the battlefield. And that's the end of this. Wait, there's more? Unbelievable. No, that's it. That was the whole thing. So please, Check the download link in the description for the stat logs, leave a like and subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, tell me what homebrew idea you want to see realized, and enjoy the DnD 5e L4D3 DIY DLC. Suck it, Gabe! Woo!